Sponsored by Ingalls, Champion Chevrolet, and Pals.
Welcome into Friday Night Huddle, and I hope your resume is up to date because there is no tomorrow, especially in Tennessee where it is the final week of the regular season.
Yes, it is, and we are counting down the top 5 games each week from the high school gridiron. Remember, you can get the scores of your favorite team ticking at the bottom of your screen or anytime on our website at WCOIB.com.
We start with a big game with playoff implications in the Commonwealth. Heading into the season, Chilhowie and Patrick Henry were both looked on as contenders in Region 1D. Now both need a win just to stay in the playoff race. That is why is our number 5 game this week. The Warriors kicker Landon Hall would strike first after both teams run it out there in Chilhowie. 27-yard field goal makes it 3-0. The Rebels hit right back. Jebediah Stewart forces his way in for 6 to close out the first half. It's Landon Hall again for 3, and we are knotted up at 6 at the break. Second half, yeah, well, it's about to get interesting here in the second half. Rebels start with a bang. Stewart finds a gap, and no one is stopping him. Gallops all the way in for another score. Then the Rebel D forces a punt, and it's Stewart again bounding over the line for the touchdown. Warriors now in desperation mode. Quarterback Asher Chapman looks deep, but gets picked off by Stewart instead. Big game for him because a few plays later, he is going to find the end zone one more time. Patrick Henry keeps his playoff hopes alive with the 28-6 win.
Yeah, we started slow, and that's a credit to them, because they played us really, really tough in that first half. That's a scrappy football team, but I thought in the second half, that Jeb Stewart, really shined. He'd been out for I think the last 7 games, and he was just big in that second half.
Well, on the Tennessee side of the state line, it is the final night of the regular season, and there are a number of games that are de facto region championships, including in Region 1 3A, where Johnson County visited Unicoi County and met as a win for the Blue Devils, and they are region champs. But a Longhorn win leaves the potential for a 3-way tie atop the region, making it our number 4 game this week. Oh, the fireworks are flying. Unicoi County strikes first. Branson Saltz gets the rushing touchdown. The Longhorns, though, would answer. Jay Stout, after a big game last week, 2 weeks ago, would hit Jonathan Silag for the score for the Longhorns. This was a defensive battle for the Devils at a field goal late. Unicoi County gets the 10-7 win to take the Region 1 3A crown.
Just awesome environment, a war, credit to them. That's a great football team we just beat, and we found a way to win, and credit to our guys, and that's a special win.
2 games down, 3 to go on our countdown, and we still have massive games in Greenville, Big Stone Gap, and Johnson City. We also have some games that just missed our countdown, including a big one that saw a coaching change this morning.
It's the biggest savings of the year with 0% and $10,000 off at Champion Chevrolet, Johnson City and Kingsport. 24 tracks, $19,995, 25 Trailblazer, $22,995, 24 Colorado, $3,000 off. Champion Chevrolet, we'll leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Citizens Bank, we believe in the communities we serve. With locations throughout the Tri-Cities and Knoxville, Citizens Bank is the trusted partner to work alongside your business and family in accomplishing financial goals. As a family-owned bank founded and headquartered in Northeast Tennessee, a big part of our success is your success. So stop by a branch or visit citizensbank24.com today and get to know the citizens in your community.
Tender pork loins now, bacon biscuits brown. The only food that I can eat is tender pork loins now. Pals have got some tender loins, juicy and delish. Made from them premium cuts, they taste like buttery discs. Tender pork loins now, bacon biscuits brown. The only food that I can eat is tender pork loins now.
The tender pork loin biscuit is back, only for a limited time.
The only food that I can eat is tender pork loins now.
Pals, great food in a flash.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
And
And welcome to the Ingles Game of the Week as the War Horses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
It's the biggest savings of the year with 0% and $10,000 off at Champion Chevrolet, Johnson City and Kingsport. 24 Silverado 1500 up to $10,000 off. 24 Silverado HD 4,000 off. 24 Tahoe and Suburban 6,000 off. Champion Chevrolet, we'll leave you asking, how do they do that?
Friday Night Huddle, sponsored by Ingles, Champion Chevrolet, and Pals.
To some of the games just missed our countdown, starting with senior night in Saltville. Honaker visiting Northwood, and a first look at Aaron Lowe taking over today as the Tigers' interim coach 1 day after Shane Wicks resigned. And the Lowe era began hot. Tigers on the first series. Braden Marsh punches it in for the game's first score. Now 8-8. It's Music Brother duo again. Peyton to Avery on the slant to regain the lead for the Tigers, but in the blink of an eye, Northwood strikes back. A Brody Waddle 71-yard run to tie things up at 14. And Northwood would keep it close. The Tigers, though, run away with it in the second half with a 56-22 win. Now to Bristol. Virginia High and John Marshall met back in March for the Class II state basketball title. Tonight they meet on the gridiron. Bearcats up big when we got there, looking for more. In the second half, it's Elijah Burks. Doesn't care what the score is. He's trucking down the field right into your living room for a big first down. So they give it right back to him. Rewards him with a touchdown. He bulldozes his way in for the score. That's a 43-0 lead Virginia High, and it would stay that way on a night where 5 different players scored, including 4 seniors. Cool night for the Bearcats. Now, Thomas Walker take on the road in Nicholsville to take on Twin Springs. And there's the Pioneers taking the lead in the first quarter as Clay Cheek drives the ball 40 yards for the Pioneers' first touchdown to make it 7-0. Then Cheek handing it off to Hunter Norris for the second touchdown of the game. And it would be 21-0 before some more from Thomas Walker. Brendan Weddle would fake the handoff for the Titans. Oh, this is Twin Springs bringing the score to 21-6. That would be kind of all Twin Springs would gather up on this one. Thomas Walker wins it 49-13. Back to Tennessee in another game that would decide the region championship. North Green hosting Cosby. Eagles strike first. Matthew McMahon hits Devontae Wigfall deep for the score. 7-zip Cosby after 1 to the second quarter we go. North Green driving. Thomas Darnell looks deep, and he is going to be picked off in the end zone by Wigfall. Cosby wins it 26-14.
Most years, Elizabethton and Greenville, a marquee matchup on the field. Whenever they meet this season, it's just a big deal. But this season, the rivals have combined for 4 losses. But as I said, it's still a big deal. And it would decide Region 1 4A tonight, making it our number 3 game this week, the 100th meeting between the two teams. Starting things off with Greenville. They were up by 7, looking for more. Caden Ball throws it deep and finds Zayden Anderson. That connection's worked so well all year long. He pulls it down and then breaks a tackle, goes into the end zone. The mixed extra point puts the Devils up 13-0. Pick things up after a Bexley touchdown to even things out. Ball throws it. It is picked. Elizabethton with an opportunity to rein it back in, but the very next play, Zayden Anderson says, yeah, no, really, that's my ball. He takes it all the way down for a pick 6. This one getting away from the Cyclones, trying to stop the bleeding. Next, Elizabethton possession. Here's the pass again and again. It's going for a pick 6. Oh, no. 27-7 at the half. Betsy really never able to close the gap. Green Devils get the big-time win, 41-7.
Our goal the whole season has been we want to be Region 1 4A champs, and we accomplished that tonight. Now, the only other goal that any football team in the state of Tennessee has right now is to be state champs. So, but in order for us to do that, we got to continue to be 1-0 every week. It don't matter who we're playing. We got to line up and be ready to go.
2 games left in this week's countdown, and it is hard to find 2 bigger. A Mountain 7 title to be decided tonight in Big Stone Gap between Union and Abingdon, and Region 1 6A on the line in Johnson City. That's still to come, but first, the Science Hill Band takes us to break.
It's going to be
have just closed.
We are watching to see what happens.
This is going to come down to a game of turnout.
We have got every single angle covered.
We're getting our first results.
We will stay right here, standing by.
America is under attack. That's why I'm fighting to give states the tools to deport criminal, illegal aliens, to stop the human trafficking crisis, and to create more detention facilities, to lock up the terrorists attacking our border. No amnesty, no sanctuary cities, no more thugs, drugs, and gangs. I'm Marsha Blackburn, and I approved this message because this is about saving America.
Driving the Nissan Rogue with Google built in is like...
Hey, Google, turn on Rocky's food.
It's like the ultimate connection. See why it's been awarded a Consumer Guide Best Buy and recommended by Consumer Reports. Drive the Nissan Rogue today.
Now get up to $1,250 customer cash on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
Today at Ashley, you get 5 years, no interest. Get stylish new looks for your living room, bedroom, dining room, and more with no interest for 5 years. This amazing offer won't last long. Only at your local Ashley.
I'm Hung Kao, and I approve this message.
It was a crime too gruesome to describe on TV. An elderly woman murdered, tortured. Even when sentenced to death, the killer showed no remorse. But one lawyer tried to get this killer off, tried everything to escape justice. That lawyer? Senator Tim Kaine. When Virginia's Democratic governor sided with the victim and put the killer to death, Kaine said, "Something personal in me will die too." Tim Kaine. He's just weak.
ETSU men's basketball opens the 2024-25 season against Newberry Monday, November 4th at 7, and Eastern Kentucky Friday, November 8th at 7 inside Freedom Hall. Single game tickets start at just $10. Go to etsutickets.com or call 423-439-3878 to get your tickets now. Buccaneer men's basketball against Newberry on November 4th and Eastern Kentucky on November 8th.
All hands on deck.
Friday Night Huddle, sponsored by Ingalls, Champion Chevrolet, and Pals.
The Mountain 7 race has come down to 2 teams. Both Union and Abingdon came into tonight unbeaten in conference play, so the winner of tonight's showdown in Big Stone Gap would be the Mountain 7 champ. To Bullitt Park we go for our number 2 game. Bears with the ball first, and the first score of the night goes to the man Keith Chandler. Punches it in from 1 yard out to close out the opening drive. Extra point missed, and that leaves an opening for the Falcons. Isaac Brooks finds Lucas Honecker for the 30-yard touchdown pass. Kick is good. Abingdon with a 1-point lead and now enter the defense. Judge Dillo rises up, takes it out of the air, and takes it to the house for the pick 6, but don't count out Union, though. With less than 2 minutes remaining in the half, Cam Bostic has the QB keeper and goes the distance. A 40-yard touchdown run, and it's a tie game after Chandler converts the 2-point attempt. Then Carlos Anderson flips the field in the final minutes of the first half. The Bears would take a 21-14 lead into the break, but it'd be a second-half surge for Abingdon, who wins at 28-21. And News 5's Lauren Bradford was in Big Stone Gap and has more from the champs.
Well, it was a game that lived up to the hype with the Mountain 7 on the line. Union and Abingdon duking it out for all 4 quarters, but in the end, it was late scoring from Abingdon that ended up giving the Falcons the 28-21 victory.
Big key to the game was if you could settle in and play our game and not let the crowd and the noise and the train horn and all that get to us, and we were able to do it.
We had a target on our head since the beginning of the season, and that's just what it is at Abingdon, so we know we had to come out and play, so that's just what we did.
The win depended on the success of Abingdon's run game, spearheaded by senior Owen Barr.
They know it's going to him. He's got great vision. He broke tackles down the stretch and was able to get us first down. So he's a tough runner.
With 1 game left in the regular season, Abingdon has already started to check off goals they had set from before the season.
It's a goal we set at the beginning of the year to win the district. It's important to us. It's something we work towards. So it was a big motivator for our guys.
It's a great feeling. We got cut short last year. They got a great team. They got the jump on us last year. The credit to them, but it was a great feeling.
Abingdon heading into their final game of the regular season with the Mountain 7 already locked up. Reporting from Bullitt Park, I'm Lauren Bradford.
Science Hill and Dobbins Bennett. I really don't have to say much else than that. These two teams could be playing rock, paper, scissors, and it would draw a bunch of eyes and be a heated rivalry. So tonight's game on the gridiron, that would also decide the Region 1-6A crown. Oh, you knew it was already our top game this week. It was also our Friday night rivals game, seen on our sister station, the Tri-City CW, on the campus of ETSU. The Indians strike first. The handoff goes to Keegan Begley. He spins off a defender and then goes in for the score. Science Hill answers. You like that? How about this? Zane Huff says, I can break tackles too. Hauls in the pass and spins off the defender for 6. Tried 10-6 at the break. Second half, Toppers up 12-10. Indians put this one away. Austin Sykes finds Dylan Murray in the back of the end zone for the score. Dobyns-Bennett is your Region 1-6A champ with the 18-12 win. News 5's Casey Getz was on the call for this. He has our post-game report.
The first matchup at William B. Greene Jr. Stadium between Science Hill and Dobyns-Bennett here on the campus of ETSU, living up to all the hype. Region championship on the line. Dobyns-Bennett ending a 5-year losing streak. They had lost 11 of the last 12 to Science Hill, but 18-12 winners tonight is Dobyns-Bennett. This team has made major strides throughout the season. They started off, we saw them all the way back in week 2, a 35-0 loss to Greenville. Coach Christian says all the credit for how this team continued to fight goes to the players and the coaching staff.
I got the best coaching staff in the state. I'll argue that with you for everything. But our coaches put in a lot of time, take a lot of time away from their families and things like that. But what I think, Casey, what it showed is how much we were able to develop this team. We're a little bit of a different team now than we were what you saw in week 2. Would you not agree?
I would.
Well, that's our coaches and that's our players. That's players buying in. That's our coaches working their tails off. Those guys have done a great job all year.
Dobyns-Bennett, the region champs, while they don't have too much time to enjoy it, they will certainly for tonight and probably on Saturday as well. But then they have to turn their attention to the playoffs. But the good news is they will be at home against Farragut, the same team they opened the season with a win as well. As for Science Hill, they will be at home still next week, despite losing tonight. They finished the regular season 7-2. The Toppers will host Cleveland in round 1 of the playoffs. In William B. Greene Jr. Stadium on the campus of ETSU, I'm Casey Getz, News 5 WCYB.
All right, thank you, Casey. Now some scores around Tennessee. Tennessee High takes down Daniel Boone by 20. David Crockett suffers the big loss at Sevier County, and Cherokee takes care of Union County 38-8. More scores in Tennessee. Chucky Doak falls to Gatlinburg Pittman 55-3, and Cloud Lake takes care of Unica 36-20.
In the Commonwealth, more scores to show you tonight. Gate City gets a win, as does Lehigh, and Holston squeaks out one over Rural Retreat, and more from the Commonwealth. Rye Cove, Eastside, and Richlands are all winners. How about one more score from pages of scores here from the Commonwealth? Grundy is a big-time winner. Castlewood wins over Hurley, and Eastern Montgomery takes down Twin Valley 38-22.
And in Kentucky, Letcher County Central falls by 1, and Leslie County takes care of Pineville 35-6.
That will do it for this week's edition of Friday Night Huddle. For Cole, Lauren, and Casey, and all our great photographers and directors, we leave you tonight with some of our top plays.
It's going to be a run to Begley. He breaks off one tackle. Tegan Begley's in for the touchdown.
Number 13, Jake Duffy, keep the punt.